Foreign English teachers are leaving South Korea and moving to China, and I think we have to talk about it. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time seeing my face, hello. Welcome to the fun, exciting, and informative side of the internet. My name is Letty Maps, and welcome to Letty Maps the World. And if you are a returning subscriber, you know how I feel about you. You know how I feel about you. You and I have something good going on, and I hope that is going to keep going on for a very long time. You know what? I will tell you how I feel about you.
I love you!
I love you!
From the moment you click the subscribe button, I have loved you desperately. I cannot breathe when you are not near. I love you, dear subscriber. I love you.
Okay, so I have been obsessing over Queen Charlotte on Netflix. Like, it's my personality right now. Honestly, it is my personality. Every single time I see someone sad or like, you know, someone in a bad mood, I'm always fighting the urge to say sorrows, prayers. Sorrows, prayers. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to go on Netflix and watch Queen Charlotte. It is such a great watch. It is so sweet. It is so romantic. It is so sad. All right, you know what? Let's get back to the topic. We are not here to talk about Queen Charlotte. Let's get back to the topic because this topic is juicy, guys. I have been wanting to talk about this topic for a very long time, and every single time I feel like I'm getting sized to talk about this. I was on TikTok a couple of days ago, and I was scrolling through TikTok, and I saw a TikTok from Loisy. So I'll put the TikTok video, and I was like, I think I should talk about this. And then yesterday on our group chat, I have a group chat with a couple of my friends. One of my friends asked, she was like, guys, I just wanted to ask, are you guys gonna stay in Korea or are you also moving to China? So right now in South Korea, the talk about moving to China has been a very prevalent conversation among friends. Everyone is just talking about moving to China. And on this video, I would really like to talk about some of the reasons as to why I think people may be thinking of moving to China, you know? Okay, guys, please, I have not spoken to anyone who has moved to China, so I don't know why people are moving to China. I mean, everybody has their own personal reasons, but then I would like to just talk about some of what I think, or maybe the reasons that would lead me to move to China. So please, if you know anyone who left South Korea and moved to China, don't be going to their channel and saying that, oh, so you left China because 1, 2, 3, Letty Maps the World said that. Don't betray me like that. We have a good thing going on. All right, okay, everybody. So as I've said before, there is a trend where English teachers in Korea are packing their bags, packing their lives in Korea and bouncing. They're like, yeah, you know what? We good, but we're gonna go to China. And yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I had a gathering. I guess I could say a gathering. And I heard from a very reliable source. When I say reliable, I mean reliable source. Don't ask me who it is because I will not tell. But there is actually a shortage of teachers in South Korea, especially in the province that I'm placed in. So for those who do not know, I am placed in the Jeollanam-do province, which is the southernmost province in South Korea. And it is also the least developed province in South Korea. I know it sounds bad when you say, oh, it's the least developed province, but really it's not as bad. And one of the things that I have learned is that the definition of rural is so different from what we South Africa define the word rural. So, you know, some of my friends who are placed in the rural areas, even they're like, yeah, we knew we were gonna be placed in the rural areas, but we did not expect it to be like this. This is not a rural area. So think small towns in South Africa, you know, like small towns. In Korea, those would be classified as rural. yeah, so because this province is the least developed province in South Korea, a lot of people don't want to be placed here. A lot of people want to be placed in big cities such as Seoul, Busan, Daejeon, Daegu, you know, those bigger cities. So there is a shortage of foreign English teachers on this province. That's why sometimes you hear of people teaching in like 4 or 5 schools because there aren't enough English teachers. Thank God I teach at one. Whew. But also because my school is quite big and I am in a I don't get a rural allowance, so I'm not placed in a rural area. So because of I am at like a smaller city, that's why I have one school, because the school that I teach at is one of the biggest in my town. Yeah, so I heard from a very reliable source, guys, reliable, that there is a shortage of teachers. But I don't know if other provinces are also experiencing the shortage of foreign English teachers. So I think that the government probably realizes that people are not really coming to Korea. And you know, the funny part is that I remember when my intake got to Korea, it was during the lockdown. I came here in 2021 August, and our intake was really big because at the time there were some applicants who were deferred. So at the time there were applicants from the UK as well as South Africa who were deferred. So I was one of the people who were deferred. I should have been in Korea in February 2021, but then because of the Delta COVID variant, so South Africans and UK citizens were banned from entering the country because of that variant was very prevalent in those 2 respective countries. So when we came here, our intake was so big. I think there were over 500 or 600 people in our intake. And you know, I remember having this conversation with Letabo. We were talking about how we think that in like a couple of years, the ESL market here would be saturated. Like the government would not be recruiting as much people anymore because there'd be a lot more people. But actually, that's not what is happening right now. Right now, we are seeing that teachers are actually needed in South Korea. So I think one of the reasons why people are actually going to China is because of the salary as well as the cost of living. So right now in South Korea, the cost of living has been increasing. Like to the point where even I am so shocked. Let me show you my guest bills. I will show you the comparison from last year around this time and this year around this time, just so that you can see the difference. Like I was so surprised to find that my guest bill had like quadrupled, or like I was like, what? All right, so let's look at my guest bill. So this is my guest bill for 2022 January. So 2022 January, my guest bill was 10,500 won. That's fine. Okay, and then for February it was 8,340. For March it was 8,660, and then for April it was 11,380. Okay, so here we have the guest bill for 2023 January. It's 17,870. So it went from 10,000 to 17,000. Okay, I was not really mad about this. I was like, okay, it's fine. I used the ondol or the floor heating a lot in January, so I'm okay with it. I don't mind it. And then in February, it was 10,860. I was still not too mad. I was like, okay, that's fine. That's good. That's not bad. It's okay. And then so for February, it was 10,860. And last year for February, it was 8,330. So I was still okay. I was like, that's fine. And now for March in 2022, March was 8,360. And now this is where I got pissed. For March this year, it was 41,910 won. 41,000. It went up 5 times. Went from 8,360, and then this year it is 41,000. I am trying to understand how it went from 10,000 and then in March it was 41,000. And then last month's guest bill 30,000. 30,000 won. So it was 30,960. You know what? I'm about to move to China as well. I'm kidding. But you can see, like, look at the difference. Look at the difference, 10,000. Now it's 41,000 and then it's 30,000 won. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Life in Korea has gotten to be very expensive. I remember when we first got to Korea, the first year it was really good. I felt that I was able to save some money, and I think a lot of people were able to save some money. But like after the first year, I think that's when reality sinks in and you realize just how expensive everything else is here. Because the first year you're still trying to get used to the standard of living. You're trying to find out what is expensive, what is cheap, and once you have fully settled in, that's when you realize that, damn, living in this country is actually not cheap. Like, it's not cheap to live in this country, and it's making it very difficult for us to save money back home or to send money back home. So the pay scale the salary has stayed the same, but the cost of living has gone all the way up. And I think the pay scale has been the same for around, what, 10 years or so. Whereas when you look into what teachers are getting in China, they're getting almost 2 times, double or even 3 times what we are getting. And the cost of living is a lot less than it is here in Korea. So of course people are going to be looking at those factors, and they're going to make the decision to leave South Korea and move to China. And also another reason why I think people are maybe considering moving to China is because of I heard, I'm not sure, so please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, but I heard that there is more professional growth in China. So here in Korea, as the English teacher, you cannot really get promotion. You can't even be a homeroom teacher. All that you're going to be is the native English teacher. So you're going to be seeing like one class maybe once a week, and you're going to be doing this years after years after year after year. So there's not really a room to grow professionally in this industry. So you are not really challenged and because there's no challenge, there's not really much growth, and sometimes you get complacent or you grow too comfortable because of that. Whereas in China, I have heard that it's possible to find a school that will even make you a homeroom teacher, so you have more responsibilities. You are having parents-teacher conferences, and we don't get to do that. I think that in China there is probably more professional growth, and I guess that's why people are like, you know what, let me go there because I think I'll be challenged, and because I'll be challenged, I will grow as a person in this industry. And to be honest, I think that this growing trend of English teachers leaving South Korea and moving to China is something that could be a cause of concern, especially to the Korean government, because we are seeing right now that there is a shortage of teachers. And we also see that a lot of teachers who have been in Korea for a while, who have had experience in Korea, are also leaving. So these are the people who have experience and who I believe would be really qualified for the ESL market, and they are leaving and they are going to China. So it is a growing concern. And yes, China is offering some good packages, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have looked at some jobs and looked at some benefits as well as the pay scale, and it's looking really good. It's looking so good. And you know, because like I remember when it comes to the benefits, so with if you're going to be teaching at a public school in Korea, you are going to be getting 26 days of paid leave. So those 26 days you can travel around, you can take some time to relax, and I think that people in China can get months of paid vacation. So that is also another thing. And another thing that about China is that in China you get to pick where you want to be placed. So if you want to be placed in Shanghai, for example, you can apply for schools in Shanghai and you'll be placed there. Whereas in Korea, especially if you're gonna be going with the public school route, you can put your preference, but it does not guarantee that you're gonna get it. So sometimes you could say that, oh, I want to be placed in Seoul, but then they could place you in like Jeonbuk or something like that, which is far away from Seoul. So just because you put a preference does not mean you're going to be placed there. So there's always comfort in knowing that you're going where you want to go, and that also is a benefit, to be honest. Hey, and with a higher salary as well as the lower standard of living, it is much easier for teachers to save money. And to be honest, I think that it's very important for the Korean government to address this issue. And you know, I kind of have seen that they are trying to address these issues because they're also trying to make more programs that will also attract more foreign teachers to come into Korea. Already, I think that with the Hallyu or the Korean ways, people are interested in coming to Korea to experience the culture. And guys, it is such a beautiful culture. If you want to come to Korea to also experience the culture as well as contribute to the educational system by becoming a teacher, do it. Absolutely do it. You're going to love learning more about Korea. But I think that there are more steps that has to be taken by the Korean government in order to retain teachers and make them stay in the country. I think that in this case, it is very important for the government to increase their salaries. Let's start there. Pay us more. Pay us more, because like in comparison to what the teachers are making in China, teachers are making almost twice as to what we are making. China's ESL industry is Korea's ESL industry's biggest competitor. So they have to up their salaries. And also, I think it would really be great if there were more positions, especially for people who are in the public school sector. Like, give us more responsibilities, even if it's outside the school. Like, you can, for example, like I am the teacher, but then if let's say I became also a representative for the foreign English teachers in our town, that would also make me want to stay, because I am being challenged. I am gaining more experiences by working within the government, and I feel that I would feel that I'm contributing into something that is bigger than I am. I'm contributing into the educational system. I think that doing that is going to attract more people to stay in the country, and also attract more people to come in the country, instead of people just being like, China or Korea, China it is. You know, give us more responsibilities, give us more money. Because seriously guys, the cost of living has went high, but then the salary is still the same. And I know what you're now thinking. You're probably asking yourself, is this girl moving to China? Is she trying to tell us that she's moving to China, she's leaving Korea? No. Moving to China is a big and personal decision. And of course, it's based on different circumstances and preferences as well. But I think that I am happy where I am, honestly. I am still really happy with my experience here, and I would still like to learn more about Korea, as well as, because I feel that I don't feel complacent. I still feel a little bit challenged, and I think it's because of like I haven't not been here for that long. 2 years is not that long, and I am still really enjoying what I'm doing. So moving to China is not something that I want to do anytime soon. Who knows, maybe that's gonna change in like a year or 2 or 3 or 4. So these are the things that I thought were really interesting to talk about. And I really think that if they take these steps, it would contribute and benefit the educational system as a whole, and by doing that you also benefit the country as a whole. So that is today's video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed making this video. I know that maybe my thoughts were a little bit all over the place, but this is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for so long, and I would really like to learn more about what teaching in China is like. And who knows, maybe someday I'll come back and make another video, because maybe some of the things that I said are incorrect. and I just have to read more and learn more in order to be more knowledgeable about this topic. And if you're someone who lived or lives in China or have more information about what working in China is like, and you would like to leave a comment, please do so. Or if I said something that you don't think is correct, or I said something but you want to elaborate more on it, please leave a comment. I really like interacting on the comment section. I get to learn so much, and so does everybody else who watch my video. And if you have enjoyed this video, do not forget to like this video, share it with other people who may be interested in moving to China or South Africa or South Korea or South Korea. And also, if you have not subscribed, so you want to tell me that you have watched this video from the beginning to the end and you still have not subscribed, I am judging you. I'm judging you right now. So do click on that subscribe button and do enjoy the rest of your day. Once again, guys, 감사합니다, and see you on the next video. Bye.